From sunny Southern California, we bring you Meet Bridget, a podcast for building confident communication and female badassery. We spotlight women who have bridged the gaps in their lives by building strong relationships and speaking their teenage dreams into reality.
Bring it on, baby!
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Welcome back to Meet Bridget Season 5. I'm Asha Gabriel, and I co-host this show alongside my best friend, Kashia Rosenberg. Our show is a giant library of career and life path options for young women to relate to by sharing the honest and unfiltered teenage stories of a diverse array of successful women. We believe that confidence starts with self-trust, and it grows through authentic community. Tapping back into our formative years makes this Meet Bridget community a place where women of all ages and stages can connect on common ground. Today, I am so delighted for you to meet Priscilla Colwell. Priscilla is a fashion and wardrobe stylist that lives and breathes being a crown straightener. Her mission has always been to transform women to feel confident because when you look good, you feel good. She believes that every individual's energy shapes the world we live in. So when you have good energy, the world is just a more beautiful place. Priscilla was a stylist for 20 years at her family's business, Novecento Boutique, and her parents just sold the business. So she just very recently decided to move on and not take it over. She launched the Crown Straightener and branded her services a year ago with the thought that maybe she might go her own way, and she was right. So I'm so excited to sit down and talk with Priscilla in this really pivotal moment in her adult life, leaning into her own individual business after being a part of a family business for so long. So Priscilla, welcome to Meet Bridget.
Thank you, my love.
I would love to. So I think so many little girls think about like, what would it be like to be a fashion stylist? And there are definitely like the fun ideas of what being a stylist is for people. Can you give us like a real understanding of what that means for you? What are your primary activities and what does like a week in your life look like right now?
Yeah, of course. Being a fashion stylist, one is kind of like the easiest way to just make people feel good all day long. It's instant gratification. I have clients that, need something as small as an activewear set. They want to expand that part of their wardrobes, or they're going to a gala, or they're going on their dream vacation and they want to be styled for it. They want to feel good while they are experiencing life. When you look good, I truly believe this. When you look good, you feel good. Right now, I look way better than I did 4 hours ago, and I feel great. We use fashion to tell the story of who we are. So when I chose to wear this pink blazer set, I just wanted to tap into like my feminine side, my professional side, and tell the story of who I am through what I'm wearing. It's really the best thing that we can do for ourselves is just show the world who we are. If I showed up in maybe a t-shirt with holes in it, that would present a totally different picture of like what I am presenting right now.
Totally. I'd love to like kind of share the details of like from start to finish. How do you typically get a client? What does it look like when someone hires you as a stylist? What does that, how do you set up your like cost structure and everything really to like paint the picture of like, how does this business work when it's put together?
I've been really fortunate of being able to build my relationships through kind of like, I always make my client feel like they're family. So it's really not that formal to work with me. I just want it to be an easy experience for everybody, but it usually starts with word of mouth or my Instagram profile. Someone will like run across it and say, I really like her style. I think that she can help me. or a friend will refer one of their friends or family members and say, please help, please make this a really easy just purchase for my friend.
Mm-hmm.
So they will contact me and I will get an idea of what it is that they want. I ask for pictures, their sizes, what they feel the best in. I always ask for a picture of like their most favorite picture of themselves. Show me your most favorite picture because that will help me determine what you like or what you feel good in. So from there, I will decide what store or what brands are best suited. Also, their budget. You always want to know a budget because you don't want someone to fall in love with something they can't afford. Mm-hmm. And then from there, we either meet or I'll send links to them. I charge based off of an hourly fee unless I am with a store that I have a contract with, in which we just meet at the store and shop.
Yeah. I think it's so helpful to like break down the different ways you can charge. Knowing that like, okay, an hourly fee, you're sitting down, or maybe even, it sounds like oftentimes you're like purchasing for a trip or an event, but it also can be like an edit of someone's closet, right? And that's like probably several more hours for you and, really in-depth work inside someone's closet, right?
Editing someone's closet is my favorite job. It is so interesting to see what my clients have because especially my younger clients are more about building their wardrobe. So their closets are more about shopping. But if anyone from like age 40 to 80, like their wardrobes have an array of things in there. Maybe my 40-year-old will still have pieces from high school. Maybe my 80-year-old still has that piece that she wore on a first date with her husband, and the older we get, the more mature we become, the more stuff we have in our closet that we have not filtered through.
Totally.
I love going in there and seeing what's in there. And then just at the end of the project, my clients can like breathe. They have been holding on to so much thinking maybe it's going to come back in fashion or that was a memory. And it's my job to help them disconnect the emotional aspect of it so that they can just have the closet of their dreams and everything that just benefits them.
I feel like I just had a conversation with a friend of mine who's pregnant about like that stage of life. And I like between my two pregnancies, first pregnancy, I had a little section in my closet that I just put the pregnancy clothes in. But every day I didn't realize like the effect it was having on me to just like see all the other clothes that were like no-go clothes. Yeah. So with my second pregnancy, I literally took all of my non-pregnancy clothes. I kind of edited them. I was like, what do I just need to get rid of right now? Cause like, I don't, no, I don't love it or something. And I don't want to put it back into my closet when I'm not pregnant anymore. Yeah. But then I had the only things that were in my closet at that time, which was a huge project, were things that I could wear. And I feel like even though 9-10 months seems like not like a huge amount of time, the freedom it gave me during that time to be like, everything I'm looking at right now is something that I can wear right now was so liberating. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like how often do you recommend people edit their closets from like, the beginning to the end, like a full edit? How frequently do you do that for yourself and how frequently do you recommend it for your clients?
I do it like every month for myself because every month I will have 30 days of getting dressed and I'll do seasons at a time. So like right now, the season that I would edit being in May of 2025, I would be editing my spring clothing. I've already edited everything that I didn't wear in fall and winter. Mm-hmm. But right now, I'm just going and picking through dresses or skirts and tops and blouses. And I know what I'm not picking because that thing just doesn't bring me joy anymore. I don't like the way it fits anymore. Actually, sometimes I do daily edits. If I try something on and I don't like the way it looks on me, it goes in a bag.
That's so smart. Because like, how many times do you're getting ready for a date, or you're gonna go to a wedding for the weekend, and you tried on like several dresses, and it's like there were the no dresses, and there's always like some subtle reason it was a no, like, oh, it doesn't fit my boobs anymore, or like this doesn't, I don't like that color on me right now, and it's like, then why would you keep it for like to be a no in the future again? Like if
Yeah.
it wasn't like the thing that you'd want to wear to that wedding,
You're probably not going to want to wear it later either.
like you kind of want to feel like all the things in your closet are the kind of thing that you could wear to a wedding, like that feeling, whether it's not the fancy clothes, but like the feeling of like, this is a yes, I feel good, I look good. Having that feeling about everything in your closet, it's hard to do. And it really takes some effort to like, you got to put the clothes on, and see how you feel. But I feel like having someone there to help you is probably so
100%. I think not having an emotional connection to the clothes, I just see it from a different perspective than my clients do, and I always look at wardrobe space like real estate. We don't have that much of it. Even one of our common friends has the biggest closet ever, and it's still valuable real estate, whether you have a shoebox closet or you have a gigantic 2-story wardrobe, it's real estate. And we got to use that wisely. Like, it should only be stuff that serves us.
What do you think, say for a woman, let's go per decade. Let's start in the 20s, and then we'll do like the 30s and 40s. Okay. What are some staple pieces that you feel like every woman in their early 20s should have, or any part of their 20s, I guess, in their closets? What are like some pieces? Or you could even say like women of all ages.
Difficult than men, by the way. Men are like black jeans, blue jeans, light, dark, medium. Like, it's so different with women. I feel like you kind of need a little bit of everything, right? Because we have shorts, skirts, mini skirts, medium length skirts, long skirts.
Right?
We have
like conservative, sexy,
wide leg jeans, something to tuck into boots, something to like wear over heels, some with rips in them. I feel like as long as you have one of everything and they all fit the way you want them to fit, then you're solid. Like, you are solid in your wardrobe. What we don't need is the same jean 5 times with a little bit of like a different wash running through them. It's too much. You don't know what to pick up and wear. They all look good on you. You don't need 5 of them. You need 1 or 2. That's it.
And it's hard. I feel like the hardest thing to edit for me is my jeans.
It is.
Because it's like, for me, I have like a 36, 37 inch inseam. Mm-hmm. And it's like, so fit is so hard. So sometimes I've like bought jeans just because they are long enough and fit me. And I'm like, I don't even like the style, but they're in my closet because I'm like, it's so hard to find a jean, And I'm like, there's a good 40 pairs of jeans in my closet. And I'm like, I wear my favorite ones. I probably wear 5 of them.
You need the crown straightener.
I love it. Well, I guess let's go from your closet. If you could think of in your 20s, in your 30s, you're not quite 40 yet, right? But like, what have been like some defining pieces in your closet, some favorite items that you're like, I will keep for years and years? What are like the investment pieces for each decade?
A dress with a great print on it is always good. I call them the effortless dresses. Like the dresses that you just throw it on. It doesn't need that many accessories. It doesn't need a crazy handbag. It looks so good with a sandal, a heel. It's usually the dress that you pack inside a suitcase when you're going on like a trip. It's the dress that just makes you really feel good. Those are my favorite purchases, or a really good set. Like yesterday I was wearing my white linen short set with like a matching blazer. I love that thing. I changed the color of the tank top. I changed the shoes. It looks different every single time. I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah. And it has that like tailored fit. Like, you look sharp, but it's linen. So it's also breezy and comfortable in a lot of different, spring weather. It still looks good.
Yeah. And I love, love, love like a good dress with a good print on it with a cute fit.
It's so smart. The print dress, you're right, because I feel like a printed dress is also a little more like forgiving. It's flattering. Mm-hmm. It's like it's not like showing if you're bloated before your period or something. Like, you're not going to see that extra in a good print that fits well. it's a little forgiving. A
But
wrinkle doesn't show as much, you know?
the word is a good print.
Yes.
Like there are prints that are so bad where I just like, normally they're actually funny enough. They're also the first thing I get rid of when I walk into a closet, like the eyesore. Like
Yes.
I just walk into a wardrobe and I'll just like go straight to the bad print. And I'm
Yeah.
like, we could
Bye-bye.
automatically get rid of this one.
Right? She's like, she's got that eye. Tell me how it is different. So obviously you worked in Novecento is how you say it, right?
Yes.
You worked in Novecento for 20 years. This is a family business. Can you tell me how it's been different styling when you're not working, doing that through your own boutique? How is that different, and what did you learn during those years?
Well, those years were like honestly the best because I worked with my mom and dad. We just had such a great flow. We could communicate without even talking. We just communicated through our eyes. Like I'm going to miss those days so much. Um, Working in a store where people just came to me all day, obviously, is way easier than me just waiting for someone to contact me, especially on like the rush pieces. I had a client on Saturday that texted me and said their daughter needed a prom dress for that evening ASAP. And I actually felt so bad because one, I was at an event, and two, I couldn't help her in that time. And our motto has always been that we will help everyone with everything. So I guess the adjustment for me is that it's not going to be as fast anymore. My clients won't be coming to me as much, but I haven't told you, I'm actually next door now with my brother at Kovo. So he's asked me to come and help him with his buying, and that can be my hub for whenever my clients want like the fast, easy shopping.
Yes.
And also most of my clients are out of state. So I have a lot of clients that I FaceTime shop with, and sometimes they'll give me a wish list, but most often I'll get a shipment and I'll just know that that piece is for them. Mm-hmm. And through that one piece, we'll shop like the rest of the store as well. And I do that probably on average, like once to twice a month with each client. Just like, I just know I'm so confident that piece that just arrived is so them. And from there, we just expand the shopping experience.
Very cool. I think that's helpful to know for people that it's like, having a personal stylist doesn't necessarily mean that it's like, you're seeing this person in person. Like it can literally be like, the most important thing is that they understand your style, your body, what you're comfortable in, what you feel beautiful in, and then kind of going from there. And when you see something, then you immediately think of that client.
Yeah, when I pick stuff for my clients, I'm never picking the things that I like. I mean, obviously everything that I bought for this store is something that I like, but I'm always envisioning that I am them. I am their body. I am their personality. I have their husband, based off of all of that, who their friend groups are, who do they like, who they go out with. All of that reflects what I pick for them when I do my homework.
Yeah. So I didn't know that your brother owns Kovo. So for those of you that haven't heard these boutique names before, this is both boutiques are in Crystal Cove, which is an area in Newport Beach that's like really coveted real estate. It's beautiful, like outdoor mall right by the ocean. And the experience of both boutiques is just gorgeous. There's a big selection, and everything is very curated. But that's wild. How long has your brother been in the same center?
He opened, I think it was like 10 years ago. Him and my cousin decided to open Novecento Sports. And it was so fun. Like literally our whole family had like this corner of the mall. Mm-hmm. And then my cousin decided to go on his own. So my brother rebranded the store with his wife, Kovo. It's Italian for coast. And they were doing it together. They have been blessed with 2 beautiful babies. So my sister-in-law has not been working as much, and it's just all serendipitous. It all was meant to be the way it is, where all during this time, my brother's like, can you please help me now? Like, come be with me. I was like, okay, I'll come be with you.
Perfect. That's so amazing. What do you think? Because it sounds like you've had a very positive experience working both with your parents and now with your brother. What do you think are the fundamental like things that make working with family possible for you and successful at that?
I think I'm really blessed with the family that I have. That's first and foremost, because you hear people will see us working together, like, how do you guys work together? And honestly, it's that my mom has always surrounded us with so much love and respecting one another, but also being able to joke with one another and being honest with one another. I think that's really important. Sometimes, someone might say something that I didn't like, and I'm just not afraid to say, brother, I didn't really like when you said that. And he can say the same to me, and we can be really respectful of one another, but then also have so much fun and give each other so much love. My brother is the best to work with. Every 5 seconds, he goes, can I get you a coffee? Can I get you lunch? Can I get you this? Can I get you that? I'm like, you're going to make me chunky. Stop asking me.
But I think that's like that. It sounds like real customer service, is part of your family personally and professionally.
It is. How we all have like a love language. I feel like ours is acts of service. Like we are all doing that for each other all day long. And I do it for my husband. I do it for my kids. It's just like, it's my love language. It's how I show my love. Like, what can I do for you?
I love that. What do you think? What do you think is like the best part of your job right now, and what is the toughest part of your job, or something that people might not know is going on behind the scenes when you're working as a stylist?
I would say that the hardest part about my job is when you just meet someone that's not on your energy level, and you just really have to like bite your tongue and, just trying your best to help them and stay positive, even though they might be having a really rough day or maybe they're just not happy. That's really, for me, the toughest part is just I feel people's energy so much. So when someone isn't like matching mine, it kind of brings me down. And sometimes some people are just like kind of angry, and I try my best to help them and, flip them and make them happy. But there's only so much I can do as a stylist. Mm-hmm. My best part of my job is the text messages I receive after my clients leave. And those are my favorite. Like, I look so good. Everyone has complimented me. I'm on cloud 9 right now. I feel like a 2.0 version of myself. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't wait to come back. Things like that.
What is your stance on those things in our closet that we save for when I lose 5 pounds, or like after I tone my booty up, or, whatever it is, like when I don't feel bloated, like the aspirational pieces of clothing that we all have in our closets from another day, or maybe we bought it and it's like, well, I'll fit into it at some point. What do you say to clients when they have a lot of that kind of stuff in their closet?
So when I'm going through a client's closet, in the beginning, I'm kind of filtering like what's cute and what's not cute. That's like kind of where I start. As far as like if someone says that's 5 pounds from now, like we can keep it. That's not a big deal. Do you know what I mean? Because like I believe that they will be 5 pounds less. That's okay. But if someone was to say like that's 50 pounds ago, like, we got to get rid of it.
Right.
In 50 pounds, you should be so proud of yourself.
Yeah.
But like in 50 pounds, you should be so proud of yourself. You should actually go buy a whole new wardrobe.
Yeah.
Like you deserve that at 50 pounds. But at 5 pounds, like if it's really cute, let's keep it. If it's not cute, let's get rid of it.
How do you navigate like trends and purchasing and like allocating a budget when it comes to staple pieces or kind of trendy pieces to just spice up a wardrobe?
So the way I feel about trends right now are that not all trends are good trends. I'm kind of more about people dressing to their body style. I'm not really, I'm trendy, but I'm not that trendy because there's a lot of stuff that is just, in my opinion, personally, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I think there's a way to wear it, but if I have a size 14 client or size, even like size 10 client, I don't want them wearing the big baggy jackets with the big baggy pants, whether it's a suit set or jeans or anything like that's not flattering for their body style. And I truly believe that everyone should dress for their body styles. People say, oh, I got rid of all my skinny jeans. I'm like, okay, what are we tucking into your boots?
Yeah.
Why did you get rid of all your skinny jeans? They're like, because they're not on trend. I saw a stylist say that I should get rid of all of them. I was like, but we needed to keep one dark, one black, and one light denim or medium denim so that we can tuck them into like our really cute boots. Are you going to be wearing skirts on every single cold day?
Totally. Well, and now as of recently, they've been like, okay, actually, skinny jeans are cute again.
Okay,
That it's like that's what trends are. It's like some external version. I feel like it's like I look at trends, and maybe I think for me, the thing that like applies the most is like color sometimes, like a trendy color that I like to integrate. I'm like, okay, because I'm like, I know what colors look good on me. If the on-trend color happens to be a color that I feel good in, then okay, like I'm going to be buying those pieces when I see them out and about. But I feel like it's so much more like you start to learn like, okay, what shapes are good on my body type? What can I move comfortably in, and still like fits my body the right way without it being like just wearing baggy stuff all the time. It's like,
today,
what are you doing in your day?
Yeah, especially today after all like the activewear came out and all the cozy sets are out. I feel like even denim is just like so comfortable now, whereas it used to not be that comfortable. But I feel like we can totally dress comfortably and still look really great.
I was reading, there's like, I think it's called like Little People. I can't remember what the book. It's like a book series to my daughter, but there are these cute little stories about like influential women in history. And I was reading my 2-year-old the Coco Chanel one, which is adorable, great gift for anyone that's like into the fashion world with a child. But it was so cute because it was like the original Gabrielle was like the way she made waves was basically dressing French women to be comfortable and to be able to dance in their clothes and have shapes that were like not suffocating women and making them feel a little bit more modern, that it's like you can be very high fashion without having to just be uncomfortable all the time.
Yeah, you just hit, that's my favorite brand.
Right.
I love Chanel. I think it can just be so classic, so feminine, and just accessorize like all over and just make something that's so simple into such like an amazing outfit.
Now let's go back a little bit to your formative years. Obviously, your family is such a big part of your personal and professional life. What were you like as like a very young girl? What are some of your personality traits that you have right now that have been there from the beginning?
People pleaser. I've always been a people pleaser. I've always been a perfectionist. I was the first of the girls in the family. So I was at lunch with my aunt and my mom yesterday, and we were talking about me as a kid and my daughter today as a kid. And I got a lot of attention as a kid, like whether it was my princess dresses that they used to dress me up in, or it was putting me in a circle and having me dance for the whole family. I've always gotten a lot of attention. And today I realize that a lot of that like shapes kind of like who I am and what I do. I always want to make people feel amazing. I always want to make people feel pretty. It's like it's my childhood. I am your mother.
I feel like when you're in a job, like a service job that has to do with like someone, whether you're a fitness trainer or you're a stylist, you have to be your product. If you're going to say like dress in a way that makes you feel like your best, you are showing up dressed, in a way where you're shining. Like people, it has to be kind of aspirational, where it's like you can't just be doing something for somebody, but not like kind of walking the talk yourself.
Yeah. I mean, My clothes are always really good up until 9 p.m. when I just sleep in a baggy t-shirt.
Yes.
Besides that, like from when I wake up, I have a 15-minute rule. Like sometimes it only takes 8 minutes, but it takes 8 to 15 minutes to make just like get some tinted sunscreen on your face, add a little blush, maybe a little mascara, brush your teeth, and apply some lipstick. And that alone can bring up your confidence so much. My mood is completely different on the mornings that I do it than the mornings I don't do it. So there's no mornings that I skip anymore.
Totally. You're like, yeah, this is part of what I know, the things that make me feel good.
Yeah.
What do you think are like your core qualities that make being a stylist a good job for you?
I embody being a stylist, or I'm also an interior designer. I don't know if you know that too, but I just like to make things pretty. I feel like the world can be such a beautiful place if we all just saw beauty everywhere we go. My parents say I live in La La Land because I just like envision this world of beauty and that everyone is kind and everyone is loving and we can all just be happy by saying words like my love and just looking pretty.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it could be like, oh, that's, la la. But really, I think what I'm hearing is that you're observant. You pay attention to certain things that stand out. You see beauty in a lot of things, and you have an imagination that it's like you not only notice what is beautiful around you, but then you see what the potential in things are, or like what could be made more beautiful. That those are two like very productive qualities in a person.
My friends all laugh every time I go to their house because I'll walk in and I'll just like see something that I know if I just like tweak something, it'll just look so much better. So I'll just go and I'm like, I'm really sorry. And I'll just start like touching and moving stuff. And they're like, oh my God, that looks so much better. Thank you. I'm like, you're welcome.
Let me just style your bookcase real quick.
Sorry, not sorry.
I love it. Okay, so you said you were the oldest of the girls. Break down all the siblings in your family. What are genders, age gaps?
So my brother's 7 years older than me. His name's Bobby. And our relationship around when I got married and he got married, we got married right at the same time. So like we kind of feel now like we're the same age, even though growing up we were like had a huge age difference. My sister Michelle, she also has a boutique in Dana Point, and she's my best friend in the whole entire world. I call her my soulmate, and she's 2.5 years younger than me. And then I also have a stepbrother that lives in Florida. His name's Alex, and unfortunately, I don't get to see him as much as I wish I did, but around twice a year, I get to see him and spend time together.
Awesome. How would you say like having an older brother and a younger sister shaped you? Well, and then a stepbrother shaped you when you were young.
Being a middle kid,
too.
I was the oldest of the daughters, so I kind of felt like I was the older kid amongst us two. My brother was fun. He was 7 years older, so he had a car way before us. He was kind of more with friends. He was doing his own thing. But my sister and I were inseparable growing up. We did everything together. My parents like made sure that we were best friends. If I went to the movies, my sister came with me. There was nothing that we didn't do together. And when I think I was 10, my sister was 8. I think that's the age that we were. My parents got divorced. And when they got divorced, I kind of felt responsible for my sister and that I wanted her to feel safe and comfortable and loved and all the things because she took it a little bit harder than I did. Or maybe I would have taken it harder if I didn't have her to take care of. But sometimes growing up, my sister's like, you're not my mom. And I have to sometimes remind myself, like, I'm not her mom. I have to be her friend too.
I think there's really like a older daughter thing where it can be so beautiful and productive because really I think that responsibility, it does give you this caring, like responsibility that I feel like most older daughters are very independent, that they know how to take care of themselves and other people. But I even see it in my daughters are 4 and 2, and like I'll like make a rule for them, and then Eden will be like, she'll be like, Nina, you can't do this, or I'm going to take away your clothes or take away your toys or this or whatever she's playing with. And I'm like, I'm her mom, Edie. Like, I got this, like you do you follow the rules yourself, and I'll let handle Nina. But
Yeah.
I just feel like that's just the impulse. Like they're, regardless of how much I try to like let them both be children, I think being an older daughter, it's just like, it's part of who you are, is kind of having that sense of responsibility over your younger sibling.
Yeah, no, for sure. I have been told on many occasions I'm not her mom.
I love it
And
though. I
it's
feel like it's
funny
just
because everyone actually thinks she's my older sister too.
so
Everyone
my
thinks she's
sister and
older
I
than
get
me.
that. And now, so I've started doing this thing when we go to bars or whatever, like I'll go up to, like, who do you think is older? And they always think it's me. And then I'm like, why did I do that to myself? But then it's like, what is it about this scenario? Oh, they always think I'm older. I'm like, maybe because my hair is darker or just have a lower voice.
I know.
See?
So this is like my belief on this whole situation is that one, the younger daughter grows up much faster than the oldest one because they do things with us and we have to wait for them to do things. And then I think just naturally, the younger sibling is just a bit more mature. Just hanging out with their older sibling, they were forced to be like mature a little bit sooner in life. So my sister just acts way more mature than me. And we always joke around that I was the sister that like, I was like the experiment sister. Like she would see me, let's just say in high school, maybe accidentally have one too many drinks at a party. And she was the one holding my hair back. And she has never done that before in her life because she saw me do it. And she's like, we'll never do that to myself.
I definitely feel like because I'm a younger sister in the middle, I definitely feel like you kind of, as a younger sibling, you're observing everything and you learn so much through your older siblings. So you're kind of living their life too, because for the longest time, they're like, you do everything they do. You're copying whatever your sister does. Like you do everything together. So it's like you're growing up with your older sibling. But then I also then had this like other track where it was like, okay, there are some ways that I realize I am similar to my sister, but there's also like, now let's keep experimenting to see what is different, So I think I tried a lot of things and, I just was more experimental, I guess, and finding my own, what's separate and different from her. That you don't realize like you are kind of like vicariously living the older siblings' life too, and learn without even having to do the work of like what they're experimenting and
It's like
laying the
I'm the
track,
experiment sisters.
right? It's like, thank you, older siblings. Well, you mentioned your parents' divorce and, going through that as a 10-year-old and guiding your sister. How are some ways that you feel like that has impacted you? And if you could speak to that little girl going through that now, would you have anything to say to her?
Yeah, I think that it's just natural for a little girl or a little kid to think that it might have been their fault, that their parents got divorced. And truly, it's not. Parents just grow apart sometimes, or they weren't right for each other from the very beginning. And, some things, you're just sometimes in a place in life where you don't make the best decisions for yourself. My parents probably knew very early on that they should not have gotten married, but given their circumstances and where they were in life, they thought it would be best if they did. So sometimes relationships just don't work out naturally, and it's not the kid's fault. But the one thing that my parents always did right with our divorce experience is that they gave us so much unconditional love. And one thing that my parents did that's so unique to like other people that experience divorce is my parents actually were the ones that switched houses in the beginning. We didn't move from house to house. We stayed in our house, and my dad would go and be with his parents for 3.5 days. And then my mom would go and be with I don't even know where she was, to be honest with you. I don't remember any of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I do remember not leaving the house and that my life didn't change much for, I think it was probably a year.
Wow. I have never heard of that setup before. And I think it's kind of brilliant because so much of like your safety and your sense of security is just like that sense of home.
Yeah.
You know, even if like, of course, you're conscious of the fact that something's changed between mom and dad, it's like your room is your room still. You're not living out of a duffel bag, you know, every
Yeah.
weekend or whatever, that for your parents to like make that decision to really keep things constant for you is really beautiful.
Speaking of the duffel bag, um, I'm also one of the services I provide as a crown straightener is I pack people's suitcases, and I'm really good at it.
I love
I
it.
can like pack someone for a 2-week vacation in a carry-on.
So good.
And that, funny enough, kind of stems from like packing my suitcase when I had my parents that were divorced and going from house to house, like smart packing. Let me take a pair of shoes and take all my clothes to match that one shoe so I don't have like 2 suitcases.
Have you ever felt like, you know, that could be a source of what makes you really good at like editing and everything is like having gone through that divorce in a way, you know, like
Yeah.
packing up your stuff or finding like, okay, if I look good, I'm going to feel good, or I can kind of like, you know, have that adaptability that you have. So
I think so
beautifully
much
now.
stems from their divorce, like so much. Even I did therapy a year ago because I just woke up like on New Year's Day in 2024 and I just was not okay. I didn't know what was wrong with me, couldn't stop crying. I had no idea why. So I tried EMDR therapy, and the stuff that came out of EMDR like blew my mind, like things I never knew about myself. And rechannelling, Dr. V, she's the best therapist, but she rechanneled the way that I even viewed the divorce, the way I viewed myself within the divorce, that I had to be perfect to feel safe. Perfection makes me feel safe. It makes, when my parents are happy, when my sister is happy, when everyone is happy, then I feel safe. And I've learned obviously that like that's not the case, and that I don't have to be perfect, and that, you know, me being perfect does not make me safe. Me being me is quite enough.
I think that's such a beautiful like consciousness to have. I went through, not with my parents, but like a period of time where I realized that you know, what I was always like, oh, my perfection, like I took it as like a badge of honor, like I'm a perfectionist because I was a straight A student and all the things. But then I realized it was like perfectionism is really just a desperate need for control,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and like we do that when we feel something, when we have fear about something, you know, like needing to control is really because of like an intense fear.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's usually something you can trace it back to. Like for me, I really feel like a big source of that was a car accident I was in with my sister, who was just this foundational person in my life when we were in high school.
Yeah.
You know, and it still affects me to this day, but I'm like, I really feel like that was like kind of the trigger when I had this like perfectionism thing that just kept coming at me. And to be able to sit down and realize that it's like, okay, there are things from our childhood, our teenage years that, you know, maybe we can't fix it or get rid of it, you know, but we can like embrace and have an understanding over and compassion for ourselves.
That's why
So
EMDR is
much
like the
better.
best for
Totally.
therapy, because she literally like rechanneled the way that I viewed my experiences. It's
It's so
amazing.
beautiful. You also mentioned to me that you are multiracial. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience from a young age, and how that sat with you, how you felt about it through the years? Just paint that picture for us a little bit.
Yeah, so let me tell people what I am.
Yes.
I am half Jewish, half Muslim. My mom is Persian Muslim, and my dad is Persian Jewish. And if you go to, like, let's just say a rabbi, they would say that you are accepted in your religion through your mother. So I'm not Jewish according to like a Jewish person. And on the Muslim side, you take your father's religion. So on the Muslim side, I'm not Muslim. Like no
You're
one accepted
gigantic.
me for whatever I was. But it was really
Right.
hard growing up because my dad's side of the family lived in Beverly Hills, which has like a very large Persian Jewish community. And I remember I would go to parties and they would say, "Oh, the Muslim girl." And I'm like, half Jewish. like,
Yeah.
like, what's wrong with that? You know, honestly, even the fact that I would think to myself, I'm half Jewish. What's wrong with that? Like, what's wrong with the Muslim girl? What's wrong with the Jewish girl? Like, who cares? Because at the end of the day, we're all human. It bothers me so much.
Well, I think too, I mean, you look at what you do now is like, um, embodying who you are by what you wear, right? Like really
Mhm.
dressing to feel your best from the inside out. That, you have this personal experience of like, okay, I can't be defined by these external groups that I'm technically a part of, but not really like embraced by either. Like,
Yeah.
how can I be both and not really either? Like my sister and I and my brother really, I'm half Indian and half Irish, and I grew up in a predominantly white
Wow.
town. And we kind of felt like that too, where we'd like go to Indian functions and stuff. And we were sort of like the white Indians,
You were
like
beautiful,
super
Indian.
tall.
Oh
And,
my God.
but even
You
like
walk
my
into
business
a
school.
party, I'd be like, oh, I already do that when you walk into a party.
Likewise. But, like like in my business school, there was like an Indian, like Indians at USC little WhatsApp group. And I asked one of my Indian friends to like put me in it. And they're like, what? I'm like, I'm half Indian, and it was sort of like a joke that he was like, okay, I'm like, why is this weird that I'm like, this is like, I'm in the Indian group too, so I can relate to that feeling of being like, okay, I'm not really one, but I'm not really the other. So like, what am I? And then you realize, like, now that I'm older, I'm like, this is something I so celebrate. It's so cool to be able to
So cool. I
have
think that was.
experienced both. Like, I had an Indian wedding and I had a Catholic wedding and a big
Mhm.
white dress wedding. Like, I literally got married 3 times, and that's so neat to be multicultural. It's so, it puts you in a place to really understand and be more compassionate because you have multiple perspectives.
For sure. I think on a compassion note, like you are so much more compassionate when you are just multiple races, multiple things. But I think that the one thing that splits us up is the division of religions. It's a division of skin colors. And at the end of the day, we're just all human. And if we can just all just love each other and just accept one another, I think the world would just be so beautiful, like just there's no reason that I'm not Jewish enough or you're not Indian enough and that people would separate us from the people that we just love. You know, I just don't see how that benefits anybody.
It kind of goes back to like, okay, why did people kind of form these groups in the first place? It's like, okay, back when we were like running from the animals and hunting to survive and, like facing the seasons as like cave people, it's like, yeah, you join a group village and that's how you stay alive, is to be accepted by a group. And it's like, we're primarily always going to do that kind of thing. But then understanding like, okay, at what point is this necessary for my survival and productive? And at what point is this just creating division, and being able to draw that line?
We're creating division amongst the species because at the end of the day, that's what we are. We're human. And it doesn't make any sense.
I love it. Wow. And like, there's our
My sister.
philosophical moment in the podcast. Well, I mean, I'd love for you to hard launch your services right now, where people can find you. What are some things that you're launching right now? Services that you really want people to know about before we wrap up, because I think that it's so exciting. You started a new business, but that it's like it's official, you are off and running. So let us know where people can find you.
Thank you so much, first of all, for today. I love talking to you.
Thank
My business is the Crown Straightener. I'm just available to straighten people's crowns, whether it's through fashion, interior design, your wardrobes, whatever it is that you just feel not 100% in, and you just want to have clarity in your life. You want to have beauty around you in your life. And I started recently a subscription program for $2.99 a month. You get unlimited style advice, questions, anything you need answers. You want me to source you outfits, anything it is. It's an hour and a half of my time that I decided, if I just put it out there, that, whether you use me for 4 hours in the month or you use me for only 1 hour of the month, it all balances out. And then it's kind of like a concierge program for styling. In addition to that, if you didn't want to join the subscription, but you just want to have services done, I have my wardrobe audit and organizing service. I pack suitcases, whether it's for a weekend or a 2-month vacation, whatever it is that you need. I meet people at whatever store of their choice or our stores, and I do Zoom calls, FaceTimes. And what else do I do? And interior design. I love interior design. That's what I studied. And it's just the instant gratification from fashion was making me feel so good. So I stayed in fashion versus interior design just because it's just so much fun.
Right? But interior design, especially in our homes, it's like your style extends beyond what you're wearing. It's how you live. It's what you put around you. It's the friends that you gather around you. Like your style can be so much more than just the clothes you're putting on your body. So it's like, why wouldn't that kind of bleed into like the things and the way your home looks around you?
Exactly. And like our home is our sanctuary. I 1000% believe that. Your home is the place you come to rest. It's the place you gather your family around. Your home has to be 100% the best place in the whole entire world for you.
I love it. Your nest.
Yes.
So good. Well, I'd like the name, the Crown Straightener too. I was thinking about it as I was prepping because it's the perfect name for what you do, because you're not like giving people a new crown to wear, like, oh, we're going to fix you. I'm going to start a new version of you. It's like, you're just straightening it. Like they have everything they need to be the queen they are, from the outset. You're just coming over and like, hey, like, let me straighten that out for you and let you see yourself in all your glory again.
I know, when I go to my friends' houses,
right?
And I'm like, can I just move these things? Okay, it's fine.
Just straighten it up. I'm like, I'm not adding anything new. I'm just sort of like changing how you see it and how you see yourself.
It was my friends that made up my business name because
that's really beautiful, actually. It's like she knows you that well.
Yeah, and it was multiple friends. They kept saying, like, individual friends separately would say, you're just such a crown straightener. You're always straightening people's crowns. And then when I decided to launch, like, give a name to my business, because I've been organizing wardrobes for 8 years. So this year is just when I started to brand it, and I was looking for the name to brand it. I was sitting next to my girlfriend and I told our kids taekwondo teacher that she had like mascara here, and she goes, that's it, you're just always straightening everyone's crowns, you are just the ultimate crown straightener. And I looked at her and I was like, wait, that should be my business name.
Yeah. Well, isn't it so funny when it's like, when you're paying attention, especially if you're trying to, I've always felt this way about, because she and I working together in the podcast and everything it has been over the years, that it's like, if you're trying to put out something good that comes from your heart, that's you working in your lane, taking the things, your natural gifts, and investing in them and sharing them with the world to help people, like, you are provided for. These little winks happen where it's like, okay, like, there it is. I keep seeing that name again. Like, that's the name of my business, and paying attention and just like grabbing that thing. Mm-hmm. It goes back to your, ability to observe and see what's beautiful and see potential in things.
That's honestly the one thing that I feel like everyone should work on in life, is just be observant of what's happening around you. Accept the gifts that God gives to you. I said I was half Jewish, half Muslim, but I 100% believe in God. And I 100% believe that we're being given gifts all day long. And it's about are we actually taking advantage of them and, accepting them and going with them? And how can we make those gifts larger?
Love it. That's so beautiful. Well, we always end with the same question, and I still haven't figured out how to word it perfectly and concisely over 5 years. So maybe it's time for a chat GPT radio, but I'm going to give it a shot. What is a quality about your teenage self that maybe at the time you didn't really appreciate, that looking back, you love about yourself now?
I love my ability to love. Even in my teenage years, I was always like the really nice girl and the girl that, you could always rely on. And I truly love that about myself. And I think that that's the greatest quality you can have within a community. And we're all a part of a community at the end of the day. So if we can be there for each other and we can provide for one another and lift one another up, there's no greater gift.
That's beautiful. I think that like people pleasing sometimes has this like not negative, but like the connotation about it is like, oh, don't be such a people pleaser. But it's like really at the heart of people pleasing is love for others.
And it fills up your own bucket.
It's giving, right? And if you're able to like love yourself enough, you can do that.
Yeah. And my friend recently told me to read this book to my kids about filling buckets. And it was the greatest book I ever read.
Great. I think we'll put it in the show notes. I think it's called Have You Filled a Bucket Today or something like that?
Yeah. Oh my God. Best book ever.
You're a bucket filler and a crown straightener.
Oh my God. The bucket filling is the best. And I would always do things for people and I never understood why. I didn't understand why it made me feel so good. But then when I kind of like started envisioning it as I'm filling my own bucket, as I'm helping others fill their buckets, I'm like, oh my God, I like can totally envision this now. Like it totally makes sense.
I love it. Well, it's a beautiful visual with your sweet imagination. So Priscilla, thank you so much. I've loved sitting down with you and sharing what you do and where that came from. And congratulations on your crown straightener launch. And wish you all the best. Thank you for sitting down with me today.
Thank you, Asha. I love you. Mwah.
And that's our show. If you liked what you heard today, please like, subscribe to, follow, and share Meet Bridget with your circle. The best way to help our work here is to rate and review our podcast. We're listening and constantly working to build something helpful for you. Catch you next time.